the Social Media Live podcast show of Colonel Edmund Remy Gray on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Join the Colonel every Sunday and Wednesday for poignant socio-political discussions shaping our Liberian homeland. Around here, we put the motherland over any celebrity, politician, or superstar. Stay tuned. This is the Social Media Live podcast show of Colonel Edmund Remy Gray on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Join the Colonel every Sunday and Wednesday for poignant socio-political discussions shaping our Liberian homeland. Around here, we put the motherland over any celebrity, politician, or superstar. Stay tuned. This is the Social Media Live podcast show of Colonel Edmund Remy Gray on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Join the Colonel every Sunday and Wednesday for poignant socio-political discussions shaping our Liberian homeland. Around here, we put the motherland over any celebrity, politician, or superstar. Stay tuned. This is the Social Media Live podcast show of Colonel Edmund Remy Gray on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Join the Colonel every Sunday and Wednesday.
Good day, fellow Liberians in the diaspora and elsewhere. Welcome to this hour with the Colonel. And of course, this broadcast is intended primarily to notify you about the upcoming convention of the University of Liberia Alumni Association in the Americas, ULIBA, ULIBAA. It is belated, but better late than never. I do apologize. I should have, in fact, got into conversation with Mr. Milton Massaquoi, happens to be the head of the Minnesota group, the auxiliary membership of ULIBA in the Americas here in Minnesota is headed by Mr. Milton Massaquoi. He and I had agreed to be in studio to air this, but I'm going to see if I can, try to get him either by Skype or other means to bring him on live on the show. The University of Liberia Students Association, Alumni Association in the Americas, actually will be holding its annual convention here in Minnesota, and we do have an array of program parade marking the exercise itself. And so, if you are not aware, get to know this. So I will be bringing you highlights, and also I will try to see if I can get Mr. Massaquoi on the phone line, or either way that I can try to get him on board. Okay, this is not one of those political situations. I know majority of you probably will be trying to rate me based on my own political affiliation, but the University of Liberia will all agree is the pillar of our society, is one of the oldest institutions of higher learning in Africa in general, And in Liberia, of course, it is the oldest. The University of Liberia Students Association in the Americas here, have gone into a number of endeavors just to uplift the presence of the university, not only in the region, but also in the sub-region and the nation as a whole. And so recently there were delivery made. That delivery is part of a quick impact project that was undertaken by the national leadership of the organization itself. So that and other issues probably we'll be looking at. And like I said, I would try to bring Mr. Massacoy on the line. But in the meantime, let us see if we can go back and introduce the program while I put myself in order. Thank you so much for tuning.
This is the Social Media Live podcast show of Colonel Edmund Remy Gray on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Join the Colonel every Sunday and Wednesday for poignant socio-political discussions shaping our Liberian homeland. Around here, we put the motherland over any celebrity, politician, or superstar. Stay tuned. This is the Social Media Live podcast show of Colonel Edmund Remy Gray on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Join the Colonel every Sunday and Wednesday for poignant socio-political discussions shaping our Liberian homeland. Around here, we put the motherland over any celebrity, politician, or superstar. Stay tuned. This is the Social Media Live podcast show of Colonel Edmund Remy Gray on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Join the Colonel every Sunday and Wednesday for poignant socio-political discussions shaping our Liberian homeland. Around here, we put the motherland over any celebrity, politician, or superstar. Stay tuned. This is the Social Media Live podcast show of Colonel Edmund Remy Gray on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Join the Colonel every Sunday and Wednesday for poignant socio-political discussions shaping our Liberian homeland.
And of course, I'm back. Let's see if we can progress to the show here.
Stay tuned.
The intention here is to be able to actually bring you up with an event that will be taking place here in Minnesota on the 18th of August 2019. Of course, it's the convention of the University of Liberia Alumni Association here in the Americas. And that event is going to be taking place here in Minnesota. It's a convention. Annual convention is termed 2019. And the venue is going to be here in Minnesota. The University of Liberia Student Association in the Americas residing in the state of Minnesota actually gone into to lobby for this event. I'm thinking that we have quite an array of Liberians here in Minnesota, especially people who are part of the University of Liberia. But let me make this clear. that when we say alumni association, most people would think that you must go to the university or must go to an institution, graduate from there before you can be termed an alumni. Um, Before you can be termed, I have to look up the word whether it's alumnus, whether you are part of the alumni association. Well, it turns out that if even you are issued a student ID number, or also you have anybody who affiliates with the University of Liberia, it could even be yourself, but not really a student. You can become a member of the association, the alumni association. But if you were issued a student ID number, you are a whether or not you attended up to graduating from the University of Liberia, you can consider yourself an alumni of that institution, because the fact is, the record can prove that you attended at some point the University of Liberia. Alumni meaning past students. Whether you're past, whether you're a graduate or not, I cannot underemphasize or overemphasize the fact that the University of Liberia is yours in this day and age to support. Because we are going to try to guide this discussion, not to politicize it, because us in the diaspora who have decided to affiliate with the University of Liberia, the association, we have decided to come together, seeing the need for us to help the University of Liberia transgress means economic hardship. There are lots of things that the University Alumni Association can undertake that will enhance the quality of education at that institution. Let's not forget that LE is one of the oldest universities in the region. And so by now we're supposed to be sitting down. We're supposed to be sitting pretty, meaning the University of Liberia is supposed to be ranked among universities in Liberia, in the region in general, or in Africa, on the continent. But I don't know if we are actually meeting that that expectation. The reason I've come here, let me make sure my broadcast is really coming forth. Don't want to be talking and nothing going through. Just give me a second. I should be able to make the necessary determination whether or in Africa, on the continent. But I don't know if we are actually meeting that. All right, so I can tell that I have a signal and people are hearing. And I'm going to try to see if I can get Mr. Massacoy, like as I promised earlier, either by phone. And this, I'm going to take him unaware. And he's not even aware that I'm doing this broadcast. So I'll be taking him away from his Saturday endeavors. But the University Association, the Alumni Association in Minnesota, have done an array of different things, and I believe even today there was a visitation with a member who is not feeling well, but maybe she's recovering. But that's not for me to disclose that here. That's not what. But that, among others, those are some of the things we'll be doing. We try to reach out to members, not only the University of Liberia, but we cater to our own. In case something goes wrong. I'm not saying this to say that the University of Liberia Alumni Association would take over your responsibility, but at least you have people who will morally identify with you. But the focus of this institution is to be able to see what we as graduates or former students of the University of Liberia can actually contribute, give back to our alma mater. Being one of the oldest schools in the region, I think we owe that to the university just so we can keep it up. We can keep the lights on in case people, are feeling discouraged to attend the university because of the standards there. It's our responsibility to keep up the standard and raise it up to a higher level. As long as we're contributing our quota, we can even become stakeholders, which we are by virtue of us being former students of that university. But they say put your money where your mouth is, or put your mouth where your money is. So either way, we as alumni of the University of Liberia can even determine appointments that are made or the performance of those appointments. So, but we cannot do that if we don't contribute our quota. No one listens to you if you're not really supporting the effort. So, let me go in and try to reach Mr. Milton Massaquoi. He's going to be, he doesn't know I'm calling him, and hopefully he's not watching this, because if he's watching, then he's going to be aware. But I just want to take him. Hold on.
Hi, reach the University of Milton. Kind of leave me your name, your number, and a brief message, and I'll call you back as soon as possible. Have a wonderful day.
All right, so I'm not going to leave Mr. Masako a message because he's probably in the middle of everything, and I should have. I take this as my fault. I should have at least conferred with him before even going into this broadcast. But we had talked about this, and he was quite busy last week and the week before that. But this is belated, this broadcast, and I would appreciate if any of our former students can call and try to up themselves with the broadcast. So in case you're not aware, again, the University of Liberia Student Alumni Association in the America, the organization is referred to as ULIBA, ULIBAAA. So it's University of Liberia, LIB, Student Association, ULIBISA, I think, ULIBSAA. Hang on, because I'm also a founding member of that organization. By virtue of that, I should know the name of the organization. But whatever it is, it's the University of Liberia University of Liberia Student Alumni Association. Okay. Here are some of the program parade. Here in the Twin City, this will be the 4th annual national convention, by way, and it's going to be on the 18th, between the 18th to the 20th of October, so which is next month. Okay, and here the calendar of event. Friday, October 18th, there'll be a meet and greet at 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. It's going to be held at a place called Mounds View Event Center. Mounds View Event Center. The address there, of course, 5394 Edgewood Drive, Mounds View, Minnesota 55112. Donation meet and greet. Okay, so there would be a fee levied, $15. So it's just a donation. You can do more. On Saturday, October 19th, it will be a business session. That will be between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. Okay, and that's at the same location. Saturday 19th, on the same day. So people will go back home after that business session. They'll go back home and they'll come back 7 to 1 a.m. for a benefit dinner, fundraiser, and award. That will be held at the same venue. Okay, and but in case you have not gotten your ticket, I think they have varying prizes. I know that the patron would be levied $500. Okay, so patrons would be levied. A membership package would be going for $150. Ordinary people will pay $50 for that for the program package. So we're talking about that business session. We're talking about you coming to a benefit dinner and so on and so forth. Okay, but let me see if I can put that on the screen for you so that you know exactly what I'm trying to talk about here. But this is incumbent upon us to be able to support the University of Liberia in our own weak ways, because that university being one of the oldest in Africa we must be able to sort of like keep the lights on. The University of Liberia has been around since the 1800s. Matter of fact, when West Africa in general didn't even have a university, the University of Liberia was one of the very first hopes that came around. And people have since look up to us somehow for guidance. Now, other nations like Nigeria and other places, Sierra Leone, that later got their independence from colonialism, have gone on to establish some remarkable universities. Some of them are regionally accredited. That is, they have recognition from other academic bodies. The university also is accredited. We do have varying accredited designations that you can readily, inquire about if you are part of the University of Liberia. But accreditation, recognition in the region, or whatever other good stuff is not for us to discuss here. The intent of this broadcast is to be able to notify you that on between the 18th and the 20th of October, the University of Liberia Student Alumni Association will be hosting an event, the annual convention, 4th annual convention, here in the state of Minnesota. And I was trying to reach the chair so he can tell us more, and also other individuals who are involved. I am going to try again to call him. Hopefully he's available. But I'd promised to see if I could bring you this this event, put it on the screen so that at least you know what I'm talking about while I bedazzle my way through into other things. Sometimes this unintended broadcast sometimes can have their own lapses. And one of the downsides of this is that you come into this somehow semi-prepared. For a broadcast like this, you are never truly prepared to be able to bring things as they're supposed to be, okay? But at least we will be doing the talking. And just give me a second here. Let me see if I can find a way to get things done here. In case you're joining me, this is the University of Liberia Student Hour, and the University of Liberia Student Alumni Association will be hosting the 4th annual convention of the organization here in Minnesota, and those who unfortunately, let me see here. Yeah, those who were part of the university, whether you attended just for a day and something happened, you left, or whether, hang on, or whether you actually gain admissions to the University of Liberia, but unfortunately you could not attend. You are a member of the Alumni Association. You're a member of this body, and so it would be highly expected of you to be part of this event, especially if you live in Minnesota. Attend the event, give it your blessing. You probably may not have been given back to the University of Liberia. Hello, Prince. Joe Williams, how are you, my brother? And so, whether or not, I wonder if it's Joe that is part of the University Alumni Association. So I'm gonna have to check on that as well, because he could be part of this broadcast. But I was just trying to bring you on the screen display of the event itself, so that you can have a record of it. But nonetheless, I will still try to look for Mr. Milton Massaquoi, who is the chair of the University of Liberia Student Association here in the Americas for the state of Minnesota. And he has done quite a bit, along with an array of other well-meaning Liberians who are part of the University of Liberia Student Association here in Minnesota. They have been, ever since we re-identify with the association, Minnesota has stepped up, and through the gallantry of Mr. Massaquoi, he has done quite a bit. And so the reason I was trying to reach him is actually so he could come on board and tell us some of the things they have been doing since. But I'll try again to get him. Give me a second. Sometimes you call somebody 1 or 2 times and they know definitely that this is an emergency.
University of Milton, kind of leave me your name, your number, and a brief message, and I'll call you back as soon as possible. Have a wonderful day.
And of course, Mr. Massaquoi, good day. Yeah, here he comes. Here he comes. Mr. Milton Massaquoi.
Yeah.
Man, I'm so sorry. I've been trying to reach you because I decided to have this. The mountain did not get to Muhammad, or Muhammad didn't go to the mountain, so the mountain is reaching Muhammad. Yeah, as you smile, as you laugh, I can tell you that you're on a live broadcast right now, because I decided to do this. Unaware to you, the University Hour, because it's belated. Pretty soon, October 18th through the 20th, will be here. So I said, well, let me start getting Mr. Massaquoi on the line so that we can begin to, the journey of spreading the awareness that we're having our 4th annual convention, the University of Liberia Student Association here in the Americas. That venue will be, or that state that will be hosting would be us, the state of Minnesota. So I thought to get you. I know I took you off guard, but I would appreciate if you can find time for us to discuss some of the things you've been doing so far. Are you there?
Yeah. Did you say I'm live right now?
You're alive, sir. You're alive.
Oh, yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, you caught me off guard. I was kind of getting ready to jump on that. Yeah, but I appreciate the call. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about the fourth national convention here in Minnesota in the next couple of weeks, specifically October 18th through the 20th. Lots of good things going on, Remy. I think I'm pretty excited and I'm pumped up. And many people, many persons are also excited about the opportunity to host the fourth convention. As you're aware, we've been making steady progress with development of the association in the United States and also the opportunity to give back to the university. So this is all about giving back to the University of Liberia and lots of excitement around getting this convention into high gear. Let me talk about some of the things that we've accomplished so far and some of the big ideas that we're toying around. Quite recently, we were working on a project to deliver some instruments, band instruments to the University of Liberia and jerseys for all the sports team. We were successfully delivering that, along with some computer hardware that we also deliver to the University of Liberia. And this is something that we did in collaboration with our counterparts on the ground, the University of Liberia Alumni Association in Liberia. So those are some of the things that we're doing right now. We also have we still have a very active scholarship program. But as you were, the government of Liberia took on the responsibility to give a solution at the university. So the scholarship committee is still working, but we haven't been in terms of engagement. We have not been actively engaged because of the government policy. But again, the convention is in high gear. We're doing lots of planning. Lots of folks are coming to Minnesota, and you all here in the state of Minnesota are all excited. And tickets are on sale. We still got space. Space is running out, but we still got opportunity with tickets for University of Liberia alumni. We have a package ticket of $150, and that will cover everything for you for the convention, including your T-shirts, your souvenir program, some bumper stickers, and some very cool stuff that we're going to have in there, including your ticket to the dinner. If you're not a member of the University of Liberia, you want to support our effort, we have a single ticket that we're selling for $50. And that will get you to the dinner portion of it. Again, it's going to be a lot of fun. The program is going to be held in the city of Mountain View, Minnesota. And it's going to be starting on the day of the convention, we'll be starting from 7 p.m. and running all the way to 1 a.m. in the morning. So, again, lots of cool stuff going on. So, we really want people to jump on and help us, help our effort in getting back to there. So, I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you this afternoon about this.
All right, Mr. Masakoy. Definitely we'll see other events, other spots there for Patreon. $500, of course. You don't have to be a patron to contribute back to your alma mater. And of course, you and I know that by alumni association will mean people who not necessarily graduates, because most people have this mixed feeling that, I did not graduate from the University of Liberia. But I would say if you were issued a student ID number, and even if you attended one day, you're part of the alumni association. Would I be wrong or right to say that, sir?
You spot on, Remy, and thank you very much for interjecting that, because some of the questions we have people say, well, I didn't graduate from no, you spot on. Even if you went to the university for one day, you issue an ID number, and you are a member of the Alumni Association, so see very much a spot as compared. So there's no distinction between you and people who actually graduated from the school. You are a member of the Alumni Association, and we appreciate a full involvement. So I appreciate that clarity, because one of the things that some of the questions we've been getting, and we haven't talked a lot about it. And so some of our brothers and sisters who went to the university but did not graduate from the university and went on to other schools have been asking that same question. So you are quite spot on. And also you mentioned, let me just buttress the patron thing. We have a patron spot, so we have like very limited 10 spots for patron, right? So the $500 donation will entitle you to you and 3 other persons. So a total of 4 in the party, and you're entitled to a table by yourself. You're going to get some extra service, some extra drinks come with that. So a lot of, it's a good opportunity for people who want to be a little more generous to the university to take advantage of the patrons that we have. 10 of it, we have 5 going already, we'll have another 5. So anybody who wants to support us, you have an opportunity to bring your family. You and 3 other persons are entitled to a sort of special service from the university alumni on that day. So thank you very much for interjecting that and the clarity around who is not a member of the University of Liberia Alumni Association.
At this moment in time when the University of Liberia is practically struggling because of national policy of declaring declaring that institution tuition-free institution, it comes with a lot of burdens, and some of those burdens, of course, we squarely lay on our backs as alumni members, who are giving back or who may want to give back to the University of Liberia. But what are some of the challenges that you think us Alumni Association members can begin to readily pick up? Because you just talked about an assortment, a quick impact assortment, shipment that was made recently. But what are some of the challenges we're looking at here?
Really, I'm sure you quite well. There's so many challenges, right? So it ranges from having a very effective collaborative effort with the University of Liberia. Let me say this: the current administration, Dr. Weeks, have been really supportive in terms of working with us. But there are also been some institutional challenges. For example, LU is a government institution, so everything that's done at the University of Liberia is affected in the large part by policies on the ground and by the government in power. So some of the issues we had is around how do we navigate and make sure that we still stay supportive, but also making sure that we can have full support of the government in terms of the things that we want to take. For example, we have the big project that's coming up right now. With the construction of the mortar pipeline building at Spender campus. We have a prototype. As a matter of fact, the groundbreaking ceremony is in December, and there will be a half-hour delegation headed by the president, Mr. Melvin D. Howard, who will be heading to Liberia in December for the groundbreaking ceremony. So, as I mentioned earlier, we have big dreams. I think the University of Liberia is one of the older institutional learning in Africa. Mm-hmm. So it's about time that we fast track some of the activities and some of the facilities that we have at the university. How best to do that? Then those of us who've been given the opportunity to get an education for little or nothing, right?
Yeah.
Have the opportunity to excel in different parts of the world, especially here in the United States, who are for the most part comparatively in a better financial situation to get back. So other schools talking about big endowments. This is an opportunity for us to create one for our alma mater. So we got an education, a relatively good education by any means, for little or nothing. So the best we can do is to just give back so that those that are coming after us can have the opportunity to benefit from some of the things that we did not benefit from when we are at the university. So again. We are looking forward to a really good relationship with the government of Liberia and other partners on the ground. But again, we talk about some of the institutional challenges. Just the policies of navigating our way through and making sure that we're all on the same page and we see the bigger picture. This is not about personal glory. I personally have no interest whatsoever in taking any personal glory for anything. The president himself always says that this is not about him, but it's about something greater. It's about how do we want to be remembered in terms of what we did for our country, not only for our alma mater, but for our country in general? How do we remember? So that's the fundamental question I want folks to answer and think about it as you decide to give generously to this effort that that we put together to make sure that we can make some impact.
Great, Mr. Massacoy. Of course, you know exactly when the challenges associated with trying to garner support for anything that is apolitical, because the University of Liberia stands out by itself. It's an institution of higher learning, one of the oldest in the on the continent of Africa, and probably in the world in general. When it comes to giving back, most people, as long as it doesn't put a face of a political individual actor in the mirror, some people tend to say, it's not my business. And so, how do you hope to tap on some of these people to come on board this selfless initiative that will bring pride to our nation in general?
So, good question, Remy. Thank you for that. So one of we've really kind of had a robust outreach process in terms of making sure we tell people, look, again, this is not about one person, right? And that's why we don't spend a lot of time being engaging a lot in terms of taking political sides. So that's not what we want to do. That's not our intention. And again, I'm not oblivious of the fact that individuals may have some certain political persuasion, but as an institution, as a unit, a Universal Liberia Association, we've been very clear in terms of the way we've conducted ourselves to make sure that, look, this is an all hands on deck activity. So we want to work with everybody. We have a goal. The goal is to make sure that we can give back to the University of Liberia, and the way we can do that all hands on deck. All hands on deck means it doesn't matter what your political persuasion is. This is something bigger than all of us. Because guess what? If the University of Liberia if there's an opportunity to produce a lot of qualified and future leaders of the country, guess what? It benefits our society as a whole. We can have good leaders that can go and take good national policies, and so we don't have to worry about some of the social shortcomings that we have right now. So this is a chance that we're calling everybody together. If there's one thing that's going to bring us together, it's an opportunity for us to give back to the higher institution of learning. The university needs a lot of help from instructional materials to the quality of teachers at the university. So a lot of things, and the way we can do that, the government can't do everything. It's just a fact, right? The government cannot do everything.
Right.
But so if we can form a partnership, both government, private, and other individuals who see this as an opportunity to grow the educational sector of our society, of our country, then this is a chance to get on board. This is an opportunity to get on board. Like I said, this is an all hands on deck activity. We want to make sure everybody feels welcome to come and help.
One of the challenges we face as a diaspora organization, meaning not only in the United States but globally in general, is the recognition by the institution itself. Sometimes these kinds of initiatives need recognition from the institution involved. Matter of fact, the University Alumni Association is I don't believe, to my own recollection, whether it's an active, in fact, it's an active body in the University of Liberia in general. Would I be wrong for saying that it's only now that we're trying to revive this particular body and very, very lucrative, or very great body that should be part of any university, any institution for that matter? You've been in the vanguard here, so you should know more as to the viability of the Student Alumni Association body, whether it's viable.
Well, so here's the thing. As far as the and we started this long time ago here in Minnesota. We'll have Oxford.
Yes.
We'll have Oxford here, Association of U.S. graduates and former students here in the U.S. So this has been an ongoing effort it has been an ongoing effort, right? So we started it and we made some progress, and somehow there was some opportunities, and things didn't go the way we expected to have gone, and it was revitalized. Leadership of Melvin Howard, a passionate leader, a guy who's really kind of reinvigorated the spirit of what it means to give back. And so I think it's an opportunity for us to go full speed ahead, and make sure that we can build on the momentum that we have. So this is a great chance for all of us. The Alumni Association as a whole in Liberia has been around for a long time.
Okay.
And the guys on the ground, actually, I tell you, they're doing well. They've been really supportive in terms of the partnership. So the question is that do we see the viability of the Alumni Association? I think we do. I think there are leaders who are coming around now who've seen that this is something that we can do. It would require the effort and just the consistency of all of us to chip in, and obviously one vision, one goal, and the ultimate goal is not to use the institution as a political springboard for whatever other interests people have, but for only one thing is to give back and to provide great opportunities for the University of Liberia and students that are coming through the university.
Well, Mr. Marsico, I think prior to the 18th, I want to say we should continue to air this. And then, matter of fact, I had promised to bring you on the screen, but it will be okay if we can set a date anytime after today, so that we can continue to echo this down, because there are lots of folks who may not be aware that we're even having an alumni convention here surrounding the University of Liberia. Many people would like to attend once they get the news out there. And you and I, it's incumbent upon us to actually spread the word, because almost 1 out of 4, educated person out there in the Liberian community may at some point have encountered the University of Liberia. So we have to bring them under one roof and be able to abreast them with situation surrounding the university. So let's find a time off the discussion here. You and I will talk, and we'll find a suitable evening where we can sit and have just a conversation. And
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely, Reverend. I do appreciate the opportunity. Something that's we'll talk off the air and just come over a date. I like the opportunity to sit with you and for us to talk about. And I like to hear other people's stories about the university, right? As we talk about this is just not you and myself that have monopoly over what the University of Liberia went there, because other people who have different experiences.
Yes.
And one people have experiences. What can they share about life at the university? What can we do? We're looking for ideas, and something I welcome the chance to sit with you at a time that we can agree on, that will work for our schedule, and then we can talk about this, because, like you said, we need to be talking about it because we have lots of people who went to LU across the diaspora, but don't know that we have some good stuff going on. So I like the chance to sit with you. So thank you very much. Let's set up a time and make ourselves available.
Thank you, Mr. Masako. Thanks on the short notice, the abrupt notice, but that's what leadership is all about. You are prepared. The University of Liberia prepared you to get going anytime you're called upon. So you didn't need to go be looking for paper to inscribe your idea. It's there. So thanks for showing up. You and I will talk off the phone and be able to see what we can arrange so that we can have one of these quiet evenings, discussion surrounding the University of Liberia Student Alumni Association. Thank you so much again.
Yeah, Remy, thank you very much. Once a soldier, always a soldier. So I appreciate the time today. Thank you.
Yeah, and of course, all the individuals who have been involved with the planning the those who have given back and so on and so forth. It would be nice for us to all gang up together and be able to talk about it. Whenever we meet again on this platform. Please, let's see if we can tap on some of those individuals to come on board, including Melvin Howard, the national president. Thank you, Mr. Massaquoi.
Absolutely, Remy. I show you. I'll make connections with. You have a dynamic chair lady of the convention here, Precious Ariel Wilson, who's feisty as hell. And the president, I will make sure I make some connections, make sure those folks are available to join us the next time. But I appreciate the time today. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Massaquoi, thank you so much. Have a good day, sir.
Yeah, bye-bye.
And of course, that brings an end to this broadcast. This was an impromptu broadcast. We will try to see if we can have a session here on Wednesday at most. I'll be pushing for Wednesday because it's midweek, and bring Mr. Massaquoi, bring other Alumni Association members who have been working assiduously behind the scene to bring 2019 convention of the University of Liberia Student Alumni Association. Yes, this is not politics. This is not about national leadership. This is about the University of Liberia, the oldest institution in the region, especially Africa or West Africa at most. We're trying to see if we can revive the University of Liberia. Want to get it going, and we do have some illustrious people who have been working assiduously behind the scene to ensure that expectation is met. And we will continue to make this broadcast because we do have the convention coming up here in Minnesota, October 18th through the 20th. So we have an array of program parade, and we want to be able to make sure that that program lands at the right doors, and so that people can come and give back to their alma mater, the University of Liberia. Thank you so much for listening. Till then, I'll talk to you again.
This is the Social Media Live podcast show of Colonel